I have to be honest. When I first saw the premise for this deep dive, I sort of thought it had to be a joke.
Return to the baby.
Right. I mean, we spend our whole lives trying not to act like children. We build these thick skins. We learn the rules. We become, professionals.
And now the source is arguing the path forward is to go backward. It is a jarring pivot, for sure.
It really is.
But to be clear, the author isn't suggesting we start throwing tantrums in the checkout aisle.
Which is good, because I don't think my boss would appreciate me napping under my desk.
Right. It's strictly philosophical. The source is really drawing a line between capability, which we obviously need to keep, and performance.
Performance.
Which is the thing we need to drop. So this deep dive is really about stripping away that image management.
And that phrase, image management, it comes up so much in the text. It paints this really exhausting picture of what it means to be an adult.
That is the core argument. The text suggests that as we get older, we trade our original coherence for a strategic identity.
So we stop being and start acting.
Exactly. A baby doesn't walk into a room and wonder, am I adding value or does my outfit project confidence? They just are. They have presence, without an agenda.
Presence without an agenda. I like that.
Yeah.
But let's play devil's advocate for a second.
Okay.
A baby has no agenda because they're helpless. They rely on other people for literally everything. So isn't that original coherence just a nicer word for dependency?
And that is the exact line the source draws. The goal is not to be helpless. It's to be unmasked.
Unmasked.
Yeah. The text argues that we confuse maturity with our defense mechanisms. We think being an adult means hiding when we're hurt or, faking confidence when we're totally unsure.
Or laughing at a joke that wasn't funny.
Yes, all of it. So the baby metaphor is really about, let's call it emotional efficiency.
Efficiency. How so?
Well, think about the energy cost. The source points out there's no gap between a baby's reality and their expression. If they're sad, they cry.
And they don't apologize for it.
They don't apologize. If they're happy, they just laugh. There is zero energy spent on editing that signal before it goes out.
Whereas I might spend 20 minutes drafting one email to make sure I don't sound too aggressive.
Or too passive. Precisely. That is the performance tax we all pay. And the text defines being yourself as just reclaiming that direct line.
Responding to reality instead of managing the perception of it.
You got it.
Okay, but practically speaking, isn't that just regression? I mean, if I start crying in a meeting because I'm frustrated, I'm not being unmasked, I'm just being unprofessional.
100%. And the source anticipates that fear. It calls this integration, not regression.
Integration.
You aren't deleting the adult software, your logic, your sense of responsibility. You're integrating the innocence of the baby with the intelligence of the adult you've become.
So it's more about the internal state than the external behavior.
Exactly. You still have the impulse control to not scream in the meeting, but internally, the edit is gone. You acknowledge the frustration to yourself immediately. You don't judge it. You don't spin a story around it to protect your ego. The source uses a great phrase for it, softening without losing strength.
I like that. That's really good. It implies all that armor we wear actually makes us more brittle.
Rigid, yes.
Yeah.
And fake. The text is saying that when you stop negotiating your own worth, when you stop trying to justify your existence every 5 minutes, you actually become more effective.
So it's like a return to the factory settings, but you get to keep all the apps you downloaded.
That is a perfect way to put it. It's about trusting that who you were before the world told you who you should be is, well, that it's actually enough.
It's a heavy concept to wrap your head around. It feels risky.
It's risky to the ego, for sure, but it does leave us with a really interesting challenge to think about.
What's the final thought for the listener?
I want to go back to that idea of original coherence. If you were to go through just the next hour of your day and completely stop performing, stop trying to prove you're smart or kind or busy, what part of your personality would disappear? And, more importantly, what part of your original self would finally have room to show up?
That is both terrifying and liberating. Thanks for listening to this deep dive. We'll catch you on the next one.